Hi, it's Cara Brown, and this is Watercolor Conversations. It's a place where I share my love of watercolor and my seeking, my teaching, my discoveries, the connections I see, and just in general what it's like to be alive at this time here on planet Earth. I hope that this meets a part of you that's longing to be met. Thanks for being here.
Hi, it's Cara. I was just on Facebook and reading a post that was written by my friend Betsy Graziani-Fassbender about butterflies. And it reminded me that I found a recording on my phone from a couple of months ago. It was actually done before my last podcast episode, the one that I recorded on the shores of Lake Tahoe while on vacation in August. It was towards the end of July, and I was in the car late at night while my husband was in the emergency room having his foot attended to. And I had gone back to the car to check on the dog, and this thought came to me, and with an iPhone in my hand, I'm known to do this, to make a recording. And it's on the same subject as Betsy's post, and it's about butterflies and their transformational life cycle. It is a little bit different but related, and I thought it would be fun to share, even though the sound isn't perfect, but it was a moment in time, and rather than re-record it, I like to just share these little time capsules. So this is what I had to say about butterflies. Hi, it's Cara. My husband is in the emergency room right now for an infection in his foot. He stepped on a little piece of wood several days ago, and I'm in the car with the dog, and it's late, and something has been burbling around inside of me that I thought would be fun to share. It has to do with the life cycle of winged creatures like moths and butterflies, but mostly butterflies, and how the caterpillar goes inside the cocoon and the caterpillar turns into goop. It liquefies. There are parts of the caterpillar body called either imaginal cells or imaginal discs, maybe they're collections of cells, that contain genetic information for how to make a butterfly. How to make a butterfly, how to make a winged creature from a many-footed crawling one. This is an idea that has captured the imagination of a lot of people. The idea that one has more than one stage in life, living as a voracious consumer caterpillar, and then a free to live in 3 dimensions instead of just 2 butterfly, flitting about, able to be more alive and more inspiring and more free. And that the information, in order for this transformation to take place, for this unfolding, for this blooming, it was always in there all along. And not only that, the caterpillar body, I read, has an enzyme, and this enzyme prevents the imaginal discs from dissolving. There's like a preservation function, factory installed in every caterpillar, that saves this information. Okay, that's one piece. Now, I went to school, college, didn't know what I wanted to study, did really well in math and science, and ended up with Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. I used this information, this knowledge, these skills that I got in college for a time. But then I went into a dark time. I was facing the reality that I was never going to be giving birth to my own children in this life, and it's turned out that I never was a mother at all, even to children that I didn't give birth to. And it was a time of liquefaction. I was liquefied. I turned into goop of sorts. At least soul goop, if not physical goop, right? I have to believe that the imaginal cells, the discs, the imaginal discs inside me,
that have me painting every single day. Even today, I took a little teeny painting in with me and painted for the second time this summer in the emergency room. The first time was with my mom. Somehow I haven't gotten myself into the habit of painting early in the day. Very often, it's almost always right before bed. I have my butterfly wings. I have the information in me that has me, I am transformed from the caterpillar that I was earlier in my life. And it's totally natural to be a caterpillar first. One has to sort of build a certain structure inside oneself of selfness. I guess you could call it ego, a good, strong ego. And then there's often this period of disillusionment. Out of that we emerge with, it's possible anyway, with the ability to fly. So I'm going to go around for the next little while looking at people who want to paint and knowing that these imaginal cells, these imaginal discs, are contained within their being. And that even if they have or are going through a period of liquefaction, what's the word? Liquefaction? Where things fall apart, where life is hard, and there's a bit of that going on in my life right now. So I'm going to say that the imaginal cells don't all develop at once. That some of them lie dormant for longer than others. I didn't write a journal post about this. There's nothing to point you to on my website about this. And maybe it means there's a butterfly in my future. I painted several bees. Those are my insects. I love honeybees. And I've painted one squash bee. Imaginal discs. Imaginal discs that we can learn how to give them the right environment in order to take shape in the way that they are meant to take shape. The genetic material that's in them, which we have no control over.
That's all I recorded. I didn't really tie it up or finish it off. Just this exploration of this whole idea of imaginal cells or discs and the way they could live inside us. There's so much wonder and awe and possibility that is available to us in a whole lot of moments, maybe not every moment, but a whole lot of moments in our lives if we lean into these ideas. The ideas that we have times when we're just chugging along and doing our thing, and then things tend to fall apart. Unexpected things happen. I had a really super intense summer. I'm now recording this from an entirely different house after 23 years in the house in Fairfax. We now live in a whole new town, and we are in love with our new home and can't believe we actually pulled it off to get here because we were so planted where we were. It took us forever to get out of there. And here we are. But the time that I went through, all that we needed to do to move from point A to point B this summer, layered through with my mom's pretty significant health problems in the ways that I was in support of her and spending time with her and doctor's appointments and emergency room visits and all of that. And I liquefied. There was more than one time that I primal screamed or just bawled my eyes out just at the intensity of it all. And I am so interested in what all of that is going to do and how that's going to show up in the way that more imaginal cells are going to be realized in me. We're still really getting settled. I'm finding myself extremely tired for no good reason. I think it just is at 62 years of life, almost 63. It takes a little more time to recover from intense periods like this than one would expect. I have great expectancy about how the wings of my soul are going to extend and have more freedom and more creative expression and more whatever. I don't know. There's lovely expectancy. So I'm going to go around my life. And as I said in the recording, looking for that in other people, sort of expecting that, knowing that if people are going through a hard time, that maybe they're in their chrysalis and that they are goop, with the hope and even expectation or expectancy. Again, there's a huge difference between expectancy and expectation, and that's another whole post, but that there is some way in which they're being remade from the inside out. It's a powerful way to live. It's a way of holding the hard times in life. I did this summer. I did when I thought oh my goodness, how am I going to get through this? There was a little dim sense because this has not been my first transformational rodeo. I knew there was going to be something on the other side of it. At least that was the hope. And living in that hope is how I choose to live. It's an invitation. It's a way to be in celebration of the wondrous moments of wings taking flight, but also of the, oh gosh, here it goes. I am turning to goop. And that can even happen from moment to moment. It doesn't have to be long periods of time. So these are some thoughts. They are not directly related to watercolor, other than I do think that maybe there's a butterfly somewhere in my future. I'm still to paint that spider web. Missing the spider, but it's the evidence of the spider for sure. And there's a new website to come in the next year, and there's a calendar to be created. And so there's plenty that I'm working on that is kind of in the day-to-day, back to some amount of caterpillaring. And there's the expectancy of a whole new something. Okay, thanks for listening. Thanks for being with me. I so appreciate you being on the journey with me. Take care. Bye-bye.